Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It really is a wonderful time for us all to be together and to celebrate this wonderful program. I want to thank all the student athletes who are joining us here this evening, and of course, all of us who support them, our other students, the parents who are joining us this evening, our supporters, our friends. There are many trustees who supported this event this evening who could not participate with us, but have certainly contributed, and they're with us in spirit. I'd also like to acknowledge our Commissioner of the CACC, Dan Mara, who's joining with us this evening. You know, we all know athletics is such an important part of life. It helps us pay attention to wellness, to fitness, to balance in the many different ways that you're stressed as a student athlete, and certainly about one of our core values, which is being in relationship. We started our 24th year of sports this year at Felician University. Right? Ben JR was here from the very beginning. He actually started part-time coaching 2 sports for us. And I'd like you to join me in thanking him for his leadership and for the excellent service. This year we have a record number of freshmen. We actually have enrolled just about 400 freshmen this semester. It's 100 more freshmen than we had this year at this time. And paralleling that, of course, is it's our largest student athlete roster ever. We're topping off at, how much is it now? 270 student athletes. So quite a lot of athletes, and I hope lots of support and success for all of our athletes. This year's teams, like we've always hoped, represent not only the best of New Jersey, but the best the global community can provide us. This year we have athletes from Australia, Cyprus, Ecuador, Honduras, Ireland, South Korea, Spain, and Thailand, in addition to Puerto Rico and 17 U.S. states. Our Hall of Fame is growing as well. We currently will grow from 18 to 22 inductees that include athletes, 3 contributors, 2 coaches, and 3 teams. As JR mentioned, tonight's inductees, after 18 years, they still hold the record. The 2001 women's soccer team still holds the Felician record for 14 wins and 8-game winning streak. So still, congratulations. It's a pleasure for me to welcome John Brennan with us this evening. We had many evenings here together when we always could rely on some really thoughtful quotes from John, as well as, of course, contributing to the 6-time win of the men's cross-country team over a 13-year period. He led the Golden Falcons to 7 conference championships in that sport. Thank you, John, and thanks, Coach Brennan, for being with us. Sarah Rood, our student athlete, is the only 4-time all-conference performer in the history of women's cross-country. Congratulations, Sarah. In June 2019, Dennis Hulse was named the New Jersey High School Basketball Coach of the Year by NJ.com, and he coaches at St. Mary's High School in our very own Rutherford. We're also very appreciative of his service as he has served as a former member of the NYPD.
Did you use a crossover dribble?
At age 29 and a member of the class of 2013, Antoine Obery will tonight become the youngest member of the Felician Athletics Hall of Fame. And in that regard, I'd ask you to just give me a moment to share a personal note. I'm in my 8th year at Felician. When my husband Steve and I were interviewing, for those of you who may not know the process, they put you through this sort of grueling 2 days of interviews to see if you could kind of last from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. And one of the things we had the opportunity to do was have a lunch with a group of students. 2 of those students are here with us tonight, Antoine Obery and his wife Susan. And they were there at that lunch. And there's a couple of stories that Antoine told that stuck with me, and like it or not, helped make the decision to think that Felicia was a good fit for me. Antoine spoke about the fact that coming from an urban area, he really hadn't had the opportunity to get to know many people different from himself. And when he walked into the residence hall that year, lo and behold, he found out he had a Japanese roommate, and he wasn't quite sure what to do with it, about it, how to handle it. And he spoke quite eloquently about what it was like learning from someone from a completely different culture, and how much it really meant to him in filling out his life and his understanding of someone was an other, no longer becomes an other when you develop that relationship. At the end of the luncheon, as we were closing, Antoine looks at me with this sense of confidence and says, "Don't worry, Dr. Prisco, you come to Felician and we've got your back." And that has proven to be the Felician way, right? We work hard together and we celebrate together. Each of you, each of us struggles in one way or another, be it on the court, on the field, on the track, in the classroom, and in our personal relationships. Struggle means growth. And in this year's opening convocation, Dr. Peggy Dangerfield reminded students about the film A League of Their Own. Tom Hanks explains in the film, which is about baseball, to Gina Davis, that Gina wants to quit. She says it's too hard. So what does Tom Hanks tell her? It's supposed to be hard, right? That's what we tell students. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great. And we know what that means even doubly for our student athletes. And yet with all that, you still find time for service, which is also so much a part of who we are as a Felician community. So while I commend all our athletes and coaches for their well-deserved successes, I also want to thank each of you for your contributions off the field. Whether it's volleyball or women's basketball, holding fundraisers to help fight breast cancer, student athletes delivering food and clothing to the homeless through our Midnight Run program, or volunteering as first responders at fundraisers, adopting a family during the holidays to be sure that they had gifts and they would have a happy holiday together. Felician student athletes remain some of the best ambassadors for Felician University and for our Franciscan Felician values. So may we enjoy this evening, much deserved evening of celebration together for all the hard work and excellence. Go Falcons!